Are you truly in control of yourself, or are you letting emotions and external circumstances dictate your actions? The strongest people in history weren't the ones who had everything handed to them. They were the ones who mastered themselves. And self-mastery is not about willpower alone. It's about practicing the right habits every single day. In this video, I'll share 7 Stoic habits that will help you cultivate discipline, control your emotions, and build an unshakable mindset, just like the ancient Stoics did. These habits aren't just theories, they are practical exercises used by warriors, leaders, and philosophers for centuries. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. What does it really mean to have absolute control over yourself? Let's take a look at how the greatest Stoic minds approached this question. Imagine being the ruler of the most powerful empire in the world, only to be constantly surrounded by war, betrayal, and chaos. Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors of Rome, didn't just inherit a throne. He inherited turmoil. Plagues swept through the empire. Enemies threatened its borders. Even those closest to him conspired against him. Yet, despite the chaos, Marcus never lost control, not of himself. While others crumbled under pressure, he remained steady, rational, and composed. Why? Because he followed a set of daily practices, Stoic habits that kept his mind sharp, his emotions in check, and his decisions unshaken. And the truth is, you don't have to be an emperor to need this kind of control. The world around you will always be unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. Problems will arise. But here's the thing. You don't control the world. You only control yourself. And that's where these 7 daily Stoic habits come in. Discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you achieve. Without it, even the best intentions fall apart. And perhaps the most powerful Stoic lesson of all, Memento Mori, the reminder that you, like all of us, are mortal, that time is limited, that wasting it on distractions, on impulses, on things outside of your control is the greatest mistake you can make. So the question is, how do you take control of yourself? How do you develop the mindset that allows you to stay calm in chaos, to master your emotions, and to live with purpose? Let's break down the 7 Stoic habits that will change how you approach life, starting with the first and most important one. Stoic habit 1. Premeditatio Malorum. Prepare for the worst. Think about the last time something unexpected ruined your entire day. Maybe your car broke down. Maybe a friend betrayed your trust. Maybe you lost an important opportunity. If you had mentally rehearsed that moment beforehand, would you have handled it differently? Would you have stayed in control? Most people expect life to be smooth, and when things go wrong, they panic. But the Stoics, they train themselves for adversity before it happens. This practice is called Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's the habit of mentally preparing for adversity before it happens. How to practice it? Each morning, before you start your day, take a moment to ask yourself, what could go wrong today? Maybe traffic will make you late. Maybe a co-worker will frustrate you. Maybe an unexpected expense will arise. Visualize these possibilities, not to dwell on negativity, but to prepare. And then ask yourself, if this happens, how will I respond? The goal isn't to become pessimistic, it's to become resilient. If you've already prepared for discomfort, when it arrives, you won't be surprised. You won't lose control. You'll simply respond because you've already rehearsed it in your mind. Why it works. When we expect life to always go well, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we anticipate difficulties, we become unshakable. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it best. He robs present misfortunes of their power who has perceived them coming. So, starting today, before you step into your daily routine, take a moment to practice Premeditatio Malorum. Expect challenges, prepare for them, and when they come, you'll be ready. Now, let's move to the next habit, one that will completely change the way you handle discomfort and difficulty in life. Stoic Habit 2. Dichotomy of Control. Focus only on what you can control. You spend so much energy worrying about things that are completely out of your hands, what people think of you, the economy, the weather. But the Stoics, they didn't waste a second on things they couldn't control. Epictetus, one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, put it simply: happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. How to practice it? When faced with a challenge, ask yourself one question: do I control this? If the answer is no, let it go. Worrying won't change anything. If the answer is yes, take action immediately. You can't control if your boss promotes you, but you can control how much effort you put in. You can't control if someone rejects you, but you can control how you respond, with dignity or desperation. You can't control whether people like you, but you can control how you carry yourself, how you speak, and how you think about yourself. The moment you stop focusing on what's outside your power, you gain control over what truly matters: your actions, your mindset, and your future. Why it works. The more you focus on what you can control, the less stress and frustration you'll experience. You'll stop feeling like a victim of the world and start realizing your power over yourself. Dichotomy of control is simple, but not easy. It requires discipline, awareness, and constant practice. But once you master it, your entire perspective on life will shift. Now, let's talk about another habit that will make you even stronger: the ability to embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. Stoic Habit 3. Voluntary Discomfort. Train yourself to be unshakable. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, but what if discomfort was the key to real strength? What if training yourself to endure hardship on purpose made you unstoppable? Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, practiced this regularly. He would sleep on the ground, wear simple clothes, and go without luxuries, not because he had to, but because he wanted to remind himself, I can live with less, I can endure discomfort, I am not a slave to comfort. How to practice it? Start small. Introduce voluntary discomfort into your life to train your mind for real challenges. Skip a meal. Teach your body and mind that you can function even when you're hungry. Take cold showers, shock your nervous system, and build mental toughness. Leave your phone at home for a day. Break free from digital addiction and experience the present moment. At first, it will be uncomfortable, but over time, you'll realize something powerful. Your ability to endure hardship is much greater than you thought. Why it works. Most people crumble when life gets hard because they've never trained for it. But if you practice voluntary discomfort, when real adversity comes, you'll already be prepared. Now let's move to another habit that every great Stoic practiced: self-reflection through journaling. Stoic Habit 4. Journaling. Daily reflection for mental clarity. Have you ever finished a day and thought, I could have handled that situation better? That's exactly why the Stoics journaled, not to record their lives, but to refine their thoughts and actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and emperors of Rome, wrote his private reflections in Meditations, not for the world, not for others, but for himself, to keep his mind sharp and his values clear. How to practice it? Every morning and night, take a few minutes to write in a journal. Here's how. Morning. Write down 3 things you want to focus on today. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up? What virtues do I want to embody? Evening. Reflect on your day. Ask yourself, did I respond with wisdom? Did I let emotions control me? What can I improve? The goal isn't perfection, it's self-awareness. By writing things down, you stop living on autopilot and start making conscious improvements every day. Why it works? Most people live reactively. They go through life without analyzing their actions. Journaling forces you to slow down, reflect, and correct mistakes before they become habits. Now, let's move to a habit that will completely change how you see life itself: the practice of Memento Mori. Stoic habit 5. Negative visualization. Appreciate what you have before it's gone. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that something or someone you deeply love is gone forever. Your home, your health, your loved ones. How would you feel? This is not a depressing thought. This is a Stoic exercise called negative visualization, and it is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate gratitude and mental resilience. Seneca's wisdom on loss and gratitude. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "You may lose anything at any moment. Appreciate it today." Most people take things for granted until they're gone, but the Stoics trained themselves to see loss before it happened, not to live in fear, but to live in appreciation. How to practice it? Take a moment each day to visualize losing something important: your job, your health, your family. Ask yourself, if today were the last time I could speak to someone I love, how would I treat them? If I lost everything tomorrow, what would I regret not appreciating today? This practice rewires your brain to focus on what truly matters. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, you start treasuring what you already have. Why it works? Negative visualization eliminates entitlement. It removes complaints about trivial things. It grounds you in reality, because nothing in life is guaranteed. By imagining loss, you develop an unshakable sense of gratitude and perspective. Now, let's move to another habit that will transform how you engage with the world: the art of silence. Stoic habit 6. Practicing silence. Observe more, speak less. In a world where everyone is trying to be the loudest voice in the room, the Stoics mastered the opposite: silence. They didn't speak to impress. They didn't argue to prove a point. They listened. They observed. And because of that, when they did speak, their words carried weight. Why silence is a Stoic superpower? Most people react immediately in conversations. They interrupt. They try to win arguments. They let emotions take control. But the Stoic approach is different. Silence gives you power over your emotions. Silence forces others to reveal themselves. Silence helps you avoid saying things you'll regret. Cato, a legendary Stoic, was known for his remarkable ability to remain silent, especially in conflict. He understood that a well-timed pause was often more powerful than an emotional outburst. How to practice it? In an argument, pause before responding. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? In conversations, listen more than you speak. Let others reveal their thoughts first. When facing criticism, stay silent. Let your actions speak louder than words. Why it works? Most people speak without thinking. But when you control your words, you control your influence. The more you practice silence, the more powerful your presence becomes. And now, we arrive at the final, most profound Stoic habit, the one that reminds you of life's greatest truth. Stoic habit 7. Memento Mori. Live with purpose, because death is certain. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, and in an instant, everything fades to black. No warnings, no second chances. The texts you meant to send, unsent. The dreams you kept postponing, unfinished. The words you wish you had spoken, forever left unsaid. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, understood this deeply. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Why embracing death makes you stronger? Most people avoid thinking about death, but the Stoics embraced it, not to be morbid, but to sharpen their focus on life. When you truly accept that your time is limited, procrastination disappears, excuses fade, and suddenly, every moment matters. How to practice it? Each morning, remind yourself that today could be your last. Ask, how would I live if I knew this was my final day? Before making decisions, ask yourself, if this were my last action, would I be proud of it? When faced with distractions, remember, time is your most valuable resource. Don't waste it on things that don't matter. Why it works? Memento Mori isn't about fearing death. It's about using death as a compass, to live fully, to act boldly, and to never take a single day for granted. These 7 Stoic habits will reshape your mind, strengthen your character, and give you complete mastery over yourself. The question is, will you actually apply them? Let's bring it all together. These are the 7 Stoic habits that, when practiced daily, will give you absolute self-mastery. Recap of the 7 Stoic habits. 1. Premeditatio Malorum. Prepare for the worst, so nothing surprises you. 2. Dichotomy of Control. Only focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. 3. Voluntary Discomfort. Intentionally experience hardship to build resilience. 4. Journaling for reflection. Write daily to sharpen your mind and track your progress. 5. Negative visualization. Imagine loss to appreciate what you have. 6. Practicing silence. Speak less, observe more, and control your reactions. 7. Memento Mori. Embrace the reality of death to live with purpose and urgency. Every moment you hesitate, you lose control. Every action you take, you reclaim it. Master yourself, or be mastered by the world. Understanding Stoicism is one thing, living it is another. Choose one habit right now, but don't just think about it, act on it. If you choose Premeditatio Malorum, stop and write down 3 things that could go wrong today. If you choose Voluntary Discomfort, turn the shower to cold right now. If you choose Memento Mori, text someone you love and tell them something you've been meaning to say. Because knowledge without action is meaningless. So take control. Right now. Drop a comment below. What habit will you start today? Comment below, which habit will you start today? Write it down and make it real. Mastering these habits is just the beginning, but if you want to take it further, if you want to know how Stoic warriors stayed unshaken even in the face of humiliation, failure and chaos, then the next step is waiting for you. Click the next video now, because the difference between mastery and mediocrity is whether you keep going or stop here.